This is Jessica with Black Business Live Television, and I'm here at Heart and Soul's world premiere screening of the one and only Dylan Kalambay, who I'm speaking with. Nice to meet you, Dylan.
It's nice to meet you too.
This is an inspiring story that the world needs to hear, and we're here at the world premiere of your screening. And tell us about the journey that has gotten you here. Because you went through a traumatic experience and was saved. Tell us about, I guess, how your life has been since that happened to you, and you had to go through having a heart transplant.
I think going through the heart transplant, obviously, it wasn't easy. It was something that not everyone expects to deal with. I was just healthy, a year before, and then all of a sudden I'm finding out that I have these heart issues. And so it taught me a lot because I spent a lot of time with my family. There were people that inspired me to continue to try and play basketball. And so I think for me, I value the people in my life a lot more now. Obviously I valued them before, but it's just now that I understand how important it is to have a tight-knit group of people around you, it's I can't ever imagine living a life in which I didn't have such great people around me.
Absolutely. And the recovery, you didn't initially get a transplant. It was 2 years later, right?
Yeah.
So how was that road from discovering that life was going to change for you, and you weren't going to be able to, I guess, live life as you did before?
Yeah. I think that whole situation was rough just because you never really know when you're going to be getting a heart transplant. They told me that it could be between 6 to 12 months, but maybe even longer. And so they, especially as someone of my size, you never know if you're going to get a heart that's big enough. And so I just, going into the whole situation, I didn't know when I was going to be able to get a transplant, or if I was going to be able to get one in time for me to want to get back into basketball. And so the whole situation has just it's been a lot for sure. It's been hard, but I think it gave me the skills of perseverance, and it's a blessing that I'm even here today, honestly.
And it's not easy to get a donor because there's not enough people that are actually donating. And how it came about with your donation was through another athlete, right? It was a traumatic there's something traumatic that happened. That was back in 2016 with the bus crash and getting the transplant from Logan. Once you found out that you were going to get a heart transplant, what was going through your mind?
Honestly, the transplant process is a whole different thing. It's a lot because you don't really know when it's coming. And so what happens is they just call you, and then all of a sudden it's hey, you need to come into the hospital immediately. And so at first, the day that it happened, I was at home, about to go to bed. And then my mom calls me and she's oh, we have to go to the hospital now. I'm why? She's oh, we have, you have to get your new heart. And so my reaction was I was so in shock. I told her, I was you're lying. And obviously in a situation like that, why would my mom lie? And so going into the whole thing, you don't really have enough time to really process what's going on. By the time I got into the hospital and was on the bed going into surgery, it felt I was probably in there for 5 minutes, who knows? And so there's obviously a lot on your mind, but you also don't have enough time to really process that you're going into it.
And tell us a bit about the road to recovery, because I think your recovery was quicker than it would have been. I think you stayed motivated, or what kept you motivated to keep going?
I think one of the things that motivated me to keep going was my family. That was probably one of my number one motivators, because they had put so much time and effort into helping me and helping me feel better, not only when I was in the hospital, but as I was recovering. I think another one of my greatest motivators is just the fact that I'm not only working for myself, I'm working for my donor now. And so, those two things, it's I want to do right by them, and I want to make sure that they can be proud of me at the end of the day.
Absolutely. And what are you now doing? Because you're back on the court.
Yeah.
You're now back in school, and now what are you doing that is allowing you to continue going? Because I think I read somewhere that you're listening to your body, you're taking the precautions.
Yeah.
So is that what will allow you to keep playing basketball?
Yeah, so I think taking it steady is really important.
Yeah.
I think that it's one of those things that I have to listen to my body and make sure that things are going well. I just have to stay like in contact with my doctors. Obviously, I have to make sure I'm on top of taking my medications and things like that. But it's a process. There's going to be good days, there's going to be bad days. But I'm excited, and it's been a grind, but it's been fun.
Yeah, and it's definitely inspiring because even after everything you've gone through, you've come back and you're now still going after your dreams, and you're also helping others who might need a transplant with this documentary, because now it's going to bring awareness to donors or to people that may have not thought about being organ donors.
Yeah.
Has that ever crossed your mind prior to this about being an organ donor?
I think being a donor, I never really thought about it before having needed one. I think being an organ donor is one of the most courageous things that anyone can do. Just because you could save so many different lives, not only with the heart, but say someone needs your heart, someone can use your kidneys and things like that. And so I think at the end of the day, organ donors are some of the bravest people in the world, and I think that if you're willing, then you should sign up and donate.
And what's your favorite part of the documentary? Was there any part in there that it stands out to you or you most enjoyed doing?
I think, I don't know. I've loved every part of the process. I can't really say there's one that stuck out to me. I guess the part that hit me the most while filming was meeting the Boulets and hearing them tell their story about being on the other side of it. Because obviously I had gone through one side, but I hadn't yet experienced or understood what it was like to lose someone in order to save somebody's life. And so I think speaking to Toby and Bernie, hearing them tell me about how they lost Logan was one of the most impactful things that I had witnessed during the whole process, and I think that it's taught me a lot.
And what do you want the viewers or everyone that sees this film, what do you want them to take away from it?
I just want them to be inspired to go after whatever it is they want to do. I think that chasing your dreams is never a bad idea. I think that you should always find a group of people that support you, whether that be your family, your friends, and make sure that you can stick beside them through thick and thin.
Well, you're a true inspiration. I'm inspired. I'm looking forward to seeing this film. It's going to be really cool to see, the process of where you were and where you are today. And you're doing great by inspiring others and also inspiring people to just go after their dreams, no matter what, and also be an organ donor, and that's so important. You're able to do that with what's happened, because some people it'd be hard for them to come from that, but you came out of it, you persevered, and you made the best of what this is now, and this documentary.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Well, I'm looking forward to the premiere, and let's go check it out.
Yeah.
Have you seen it yet? You haven't seen the film? Oh, okay, it's gonna be even more exciting.
Yeah, exactly.